If you want to become fluent in English this year, you need a plan. My name is Nurrul Nurrohmah. I'm an English communication coach, and it's my goal to help you speak English confidently, clearly, and fluently. In this video, I'm going to tell you why you need a plan when learning English and how you can create one. I'm also going to give you 7 different language learning techniques which you can use to help you improve your English more quickly and efficiently. I know when it comes to learning English, it can seem like there's a lot of information out there, too much information. It can be really overwhelming, and often you don't know where to start. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to be very specific and tell you everything you need to know to create your own custom study plan. Now, before we talk about how to do this, I want to talk about why you need a plan. Let's imagine you are driving a car. You probably know where you are going, and you have a destination in mind. Maybe it's work, the beach, or another city. But wherever it is, if you want to reach this place, you need to know which road to take. Maybe you use a GPS, or maybe you use a map. But before you start driving, you figure out which path you are going to take and how you can reach your destination. Learning English is no different. In this case, your goal is fluency or a C2 level. Well, this is where we need to talk about how to create a plan. Everybody's plan when learning English will be slightly different. And the reason for this is everybody has different needs. Maybe you are learning English to get a better job, or maybe you have just to move to the US or the UK and you want to improve your fluency to fit in and sound more like a native speaker. Now, how do you figure out what your needs are? All you need to do is ask yourself the question why. Why am I learning English? Your answer to this question is the reason you are learning English. And when you create a study plan, you need to focus on this reason. So, let's look at the 7 skills you need to practice. If you want to reach this level, you are going to have to focus on reading, writing, speaking, listening, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Now that we have listened these 7 skills, I want you to look at each and think honestly about how good you are at it. How well do you know these 7 skills? I want you to rank them each from 1 to 7. With 7 being the worst, so you don't know this very well, it's a big weakness for you, and 1 being the best, which means you know this skill very well. And you are very good at it. Be honest with yourself, because this is really important for the next part of the exercise. Let's say your reading skills aren't that great, but they are also not horrible. You give yourself a 3. Now, let's say writing is actually one of your strongest skills. You are very good at it, so you give yourself a 1. But on the other hand, your speaking skills are really not great. You feel nervous and you can't find the right words when you speak. You can give yourself a 7. Maybe your listening isn't that bad, so you give yourself a 3. You know you need to expand your vocabulary, so you give yourself a 4. Your grammar and pronunciation are both pretty good, so you give yourself a 2 for both. Now, as I said before, it's really important that you be honest with yourself, because knowing your strengths and weaknesses is really the only way you can actually improve. So now you're probably thinking, Nurrul, I have these 7 numbers. What's the point of this? What do I do now? Well, this is where the magic happens. I want you to look at this blank schedule. We have 7 days of a week and 7 different rows. Each of those numbers you choose representing how often you're going to practice that skill per week. So you give yourself a 3 for reading. You could do this on Sunday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Since you are really good at writing, you don't need to practice it that much. You give yourself a 1, so you need to practice once a week. Let's say you have some time on Monday, so you practice it. You have problem speaking. So you gave yourself a 7. This means you need to practice speaking 7 days a week. Once you have filled out this whole chart, it should look something like this. Obviously, yours will a bit different depending on what skill you need to practice and how much time you have on certain days. For example, if you don't have much time on Monday, you can arrange your schedule so you only practice one skill on Monday. But then practice for other skill on a day you have more time. This just gives you a general idea of how to structure your weekly schedule. I think it's just for me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time.